Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Just the Normie channel. If you're new, please like, subscribe, and share my content as it helps the channel greatly. And today, this is Superman and Lois, episode 5 review. More news on the future of Superman and Lois, and if you are not aware of it, um, episode 5 will be its last due to the Rona situation. So, spoilers ahead. If you have not watched episode 5, please do not listen to my review because it will certainly have spoilers. So, in getting off to this, another great episode. It is unfortunate it won't be back until May, though, like I stated, due to the production halt for an alleged crew member having been infected by the coof. As such, this is the last review until it resumes, and I hope this does not hurt the show since and up to episode 5 has been great, leaving us with this latest episode, another insightful, great episode centered on Smallville. We get a little of everything from the insight into Captain Luthor, including that he is indeed from another dimension. Now that also places our larger mystery on Morgan Edge. The boys, Jordan and Jonathan, both struggling to adjust to life in Smallville. While one is and the other is rather, how do I explain it? Upset at the situation due to his girlfriend back home. Another really interesting family-centric episode with some other interesting tidbits that we will discuss, including a very interesting ending to the episode. This episode was called The Best of Smallville, and which this episode took me back to my own growing up in a small town. Isolated, but not a farming community, but small nonetheless, and I really appreciated it. And you could really feel it in watching the episode, including how they spoke and had flashbacks of Clark when he was a boy with his mother Martha. He regrets. I think we all regret things of our past, no matter how it unfolds. I know for me, it reminds me of my aunt that passed away about 2 years ago. She was my mom. She raised me while my father was overseas in the Marine Corps. He wanted me to have a stable life, and I miss her greatly. I miss all the adventures that we used to have and the things we used to go to and stuff. And she made me learn musical instruments and stuff, made me learn ballroom dancing, how to eat properly and stuff like that, etiquette classes and stuff. I know it's kind of cheesy, but you do what you do. I miss her just as Clark was remembering back to that of the loss of his father to his life after his mother and seeing some insight into some of the things he did when he was a kid with said powers and knowing and understanding who and what he was and why he was sent to Earth. The episode is very well laying out a larger picture and done so well I really enjoyed it more so than the other episodes. It had some flashes from the TV show Superman all over the world, helping to save people in multiple locations all over the world, doing what John Lane asked him to do, which I can understand the need to have to keep that persona up. But the episode opens on showing the importance, or at least what I saw in farming, in showing the struggles and farming that so many forget about in our everyday lives, that it plays in when it comes to it. I love watching this YouTuber, Cole the Corn Star, an Iowa corn farmer. He talks about all the things that go on a farm and stuff, and he breaks down. He's very honest about it. He's a very Christian boy and stuff like that. And I got that feel from that, and that's why I mention it. It is so interesting. If you're interested, I'll put the link down below. And getting back to the episode, it goes into Smallville Harvest Festival, how Clark is so giddy about it. Something new that Lois knows about. And she always knew about it because Clark would always tell her about it. But the boys are taken back by how excited Clark is. And it This episode really took me back and stuff. I got kind of emotional watching this episode, and that's a good episode, you know, when it can really do that to you. It really brought up a lot of memories and stuff of me and my aunt and small town festivals that we would go to yearly and stuff like that, you know. That's middle America. That's America. You know what I'm saying? So many small towns have these harvests, like I stated, times in their yearly calendars and stuff. So what I'm taken back by is that Clark is the forefront of the show. Clark, not Superman, and his attention and struggles with being a dad to two sons that are dealing with ever changes of moving and leaving behind everything for Smallville. While Lois is working or struggling herself and finding herself in this new realm, while attempting to keep moving forward with what she loves in terms of the investigative reporting in this environment. While they center everything on the four in the show so far, Lois is now very much set aside and outside of that of the cluster of the four, but still very much part of the three. I have a very much appreciation the great dynamic they have created in the show so far. I hope it doesn't get lost and all that. We also were treated with another side of Clark. Again, I can't say this enough about Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Superman Clark. His facial expressions come across so well. He doesn't have to say anything, and his expressions speak for him. And I don't know if we have ever seen that with past Supermans. Let me know what you think below about that. I was very doubtful when it comes to Superman and Clark on CW, and this Tyler Hoechlin playing him, but I have certainly fell in love with this Superman. Don't get me wrong, I love my Henry Cavill as well, but I have say that perhaps it is the different format from the movie to the TV, but I'm really enjoying this different approach with Superman. I think because I think in this show they really humanize Clark and Superman, you know? And I think I'm not saying that Clark in the movies is, or Superman in the movies is less human and stuff like that, but I don't know, his demeanor, his statue, how he carries himself and stuff in the show is very much different than what we see in the movies. And granted, they don't have time to explore all that a TV show can. But in this episode, we get a real sense of how the boys are struggling. I thought by now the boys would become annoying, but these two young actors have really pulled off that brotherly dynamic, which is not easy, but they have done so well at it. You can really feel the struggle these two brothers are attempting to get through. Just when one is mad at the other comforts the other, which is very brotherly love moments that we all can appreciate, and it comes across so natural. Jonathan, the non-power brother, is struggling with the move, the loss of what he sees and loved in football for his younger brother being the star of the team in Smallville, to the convenience of his girlfriend dumping him over the phone. At least it wasn't their text, right? I think the natural progression of the show is coming along rather well. Some reviews have not been so kind. I have written my own thoughts on the episode. While looking at other people's reviews, some are just downright negative. But as for Jordan, he seems to be adapting well, being away from what he left and has found this Smallville environment more to his liking than his brother Jordan, which is a great dynamic, and these two actors have done a great job in projecting that. I think, as I stated, I was concerned about the kids becoming annoying. If it is the writing or the acting or the brother, they're doing something really good. This episode also gave some interesting equal time between all the characters within the dynamics of the family unit itself. It didn't struggle. However, in looking at the Lois and Chrissy dynamic and working at Smallville Gazette and their investigative reporting angle, I'm not sure yet as this Christie character is attempting to impress Lois, which I'm not sure how Lois feels about it, as the character of Lois is still very placed in the background in a lot of ways, but Chrissy and Lois are investigating the missing son in this episode. That is eccentric to this episode and the red kryptonite and the creation of Kryptonian humans. I suspect that this treatment is somehow very unstable. As we see later in the episode, that means to enhance these individuals in the missing son goes not so well, which Lois received a phone call during the episode called from Chrissy, and Clark overhears it. As such, Clark arrives and confronts this Kryptonian created human, along with Captain Luther, on the tail of this fight between Morgan Edge employee. The lost son that Lois and Chrissy were investigating. The fight ensues between Superman and this enhanced human Kryptonian hybrid, I guess you want to call it, that overloads or something the missing son, and he fizzles into ash, with Captain Luther thinking he was able to intercept and take them down with this projected weapon missile system. That looked very futuristic, but apparently did nothing but kind of push the explosion, forcing them both to the ground. By the time Captain Luther arrives on the ground where Superman and this missing son was, and this enhanced hybrid was gone, nothing left. And I had thought, and I was waiting to see what was left of him, and perhaps Captain Luther taking a sample, you know. What we do know is that Captain Luther's story is developing. We do know he is from another dimension, and Superman on his world was indeed evil, or appears to be from his position. I find it funny that he is running around in what appears to be a run-down motorhome with his advanced tech. You would think that he would be able to fashion or create something or more suitable, maybe? But in mentioning Captain Luther, we flash back from him through he was with Lois in his other dimension, which pisses him off greatly, and he destroys one of his tech devices in his rundown motorhome. In closing, the episode was very good. I think the dynamic is very telling, and this centering around everything around the core four. But the equal time on the screen has been done well. While I do have concerns still with the Lois character, she comes across for me, I don't know why, she just does. And I'm not saying that the actress is at fault. I don't think she has been miscast, but on the other hand, perhaps we haven't seen enough of her. Some other mentions which are interesting in the episode is this orange-red stone that apparently is some sort of crystal that calls to Clark earlier in the episode when he was a young 16-year-old. Instead of finding things out from this Kryptonian father through a hologram, the crystal seems to give him a history of some sorts, is what I get from the episode. I don't completely understand it, but perhaps this is my lack of the comics and lore of Superman. I'm wondering if the stone, Clark leaving Smallville early as a teenager, that perhaps the stone told him to create the Fortress of Solitude. So much to unpack in this episode. I have never explored it all, but let me know what you think down below. I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you for listening. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, and share. I'll be talking to y'all later. Bye.